We're going
We,
live, Bobby, in 3. Oh, wait.
Look at that. Look, I got my Tide Cup today. We're in business. We had the 8-day game this weekend.
Go
I just
Blue.
saw my buddy over here, Derek. He's got an Eagles jersey underneath that Iron Man jacket.
Go Birds.
I'm very grateful for those Eagles and investing $250 million into former University of Alabama quarterback Jalen Hurts. I don't want to hear it, Oklahoma fans. We had 2 quarterbacks. We had him and Tua. What were we supposed to do?
Mm-hmm.
But grateful to have you guys on. And I did want to say that, that's kind of impressive, Derek, about the Ironman thing. But I did run a 5K about 7 years ago and immediately retired as soon as I finished the cross line.
Nice.
Finish line.
That's impressive.
It is
I have
more
never
than most
seen-
people.
I've never seen any human being running and smiling at the same time. So I just don't do that. It just doesn't seem fun.
I did a half. So my running story is, back in the day, of course, in the Corps, we were forced to run, but I did a half marathon to raise money for clean water wells in Africa. And I thought
cool.
that being driven by a cause would help me, but the reality is I hated every second of it. My buddy that was leading it was it was in Minneapolis, and I said, "Is it at least flat ground?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, totally flat." Well, the whole thing was just down and up and down and up, and no sense of satisfaction at the end or well-being, or even it was barely okay, I contributed to a good cause was there. Of course, it was very cool, but every other part of it was just torture. No bueno. That's way too far to run.
Running's kind of like having a baby. It's while you're having it, you're like, why am I doing this? And after, you're like, when can I do it again? So
That's actually the best sales pitch I've ever heard.
Yeah.
To recruit to running. That's really good.
Well, I'm interested in this connection in the chat. Tori said her multi-great uncle was the world's strongest man years ago. So two things, I've never heard of a multi-great uncle, so I need a definition on that, but that's pretty cool.
Man.
Multi-great.
Well, Jeff, we don't want to take too much of your time, guys. We're so honored and blessed to have these wonderful individuals on the calls today. If you will listen, if you will take notes, if you will implement some of the things you're going to learn about, if you will follow up, post this call and get in touch with Jeff's team, get your agencies and organization fired up and get some energy around this process, guys. We're really going to be putting a lot of emphasis in this program moving forward. You can expect this to be around for quite a bit of time. And promotion guidelines, everything is going to start to see some inclusion of the reset program. So to have Vice President of Advanced Market Solutions, Mr. Jeff Sigworth, leading this charge is just next level. The guy is not only a brilliant brain in this industry, but he's a quality human being. And he might just be the very best sales trainer I've ever witnessed. And we're just so grateful, Jeff, to have you be part of this organization. And please, everybody, listen up and get involved, and let's get going on some resets. Mr. Jeff?
Can I just chime in? Can I just chime in and say, if he's not the best sales trainer, he's definitely on the pathway to be, because the amount of reps and the consistency of the amount of training that you do, it's a great reminder. Not only are you effective in what you're doing, but man, just the consistency, putting in the reps, it's just amazing to watch the way your mind works and the quickness with which not only can you get to solution, but help other people understand how you're getting there. So we're super grateful for you, man, having you on the team. And you're a great example of a sales trainer worth following.
Well, thanks. If you guys can all text that to Carissa, that'd be great. Might make some points at home. So what I want to talk about today, I do want to talk about advanced markets, resets. I know this is the builder's call, so I want to crescendo with Derek and Aaron's story and how they're using resets to build. But I want to set some history up and how they got to where they are. Todd was 100% right, and thank you both, Brian and Todd. for that setup. Like I can't ask for any more than that. That was amazing. But I want you guys to hear Derek and Aaron's story for the last, what, guys, year? Are we at a year
and a
yet?
half.
Mhm.
Year and a half. Okay.
Year and a half.
Last year and a half. So I'm going to take you back to, how did you get started at Symmetry?
Well, first off, thanks for having us, Jeff.
Yeah.
Derek and Aaron Fitzgerald, just to give a quick shout out to the amazing Alina and Jerry Cantrell. We're direct to them. Then, Mr. Wonderful Mike Casey, and then Marshall Whalen hierarchy. So again, thank you, Jeff, for having us here.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, thank you so much, Jeff.
Love you being here. Thank you.
So so we came in, well, I came in first. And so
Canary in the coal mine.
Yep, exactly. We've owned several tech companies prior to coming in here, and we got hit hard by COVID, and we figured, we had to do something. Wiped out our business within the span of the first 2 weeks of COVID, and so came in at the end of 2021, it took me a little bit to get my footing. So, I was the canary in the coal mine, as Aaron says. I left my job first, and she said, well, after a couple months of that, she's like, well, Derek's doing all right, so I think I'll come on in. And so she joined me quickly thereafter. But
okay. So how long did it take you to have success after coming in? And give us a measure of that success.
Okay. So it took me about 3 months to make my first sale.
Yeah.
I did not come here from a insurance background. I did not come here from a sales background. I owned companies. So, a programmer, an engineer, an inventor by trade, never sales. So it took me a good 3 months to write my first piece of business. That was written in November of 2021. That was one 50-cent lead. I made about $4,200 AP helping out.
Good job, dude. Good job.
Yeah. That was such a relief.
Well,
So,
you talk to enough people, you stumble into something.
Yeah.
no, that's great. So fast forward into, I guess that would have been September, October of last year. Something happened about that time.
So after that initial month, I really kind of learned more, and so I was averaging probably around 10 grand a month AP between November of 2021 to September, October 2022. It's 10 grand a month. I mean, solid, ups and downs, but around 10 grand a month. September of October of 2022, I started studying advanced markets. I would work all day writing simplified issue, mortgage protection, general life. And then at, 9 o'clock at night, I'd pick up, the Quility U trainings, and I'd watch you and Mike Resma training DFL. I'd watch you training for IUL, tax-free retirement. I started on the annuity training, and over September and October, I got certified in everything. At the same time, I was learning NEPQ. So coming out of conference, so it was a lot, but I went roughly from 10 grand a month. Actually, it was a little less because I was training so much. I was dead tired every day.
You had October. You had a lull in your production in October because you were training.
Mm-hmm.
It was somewhere around 2,700 APV,
Mm-hmm.
and then in November it was 72,000 APV.
Yeah. So when you wrote between, I think it was five or 6 weeks from November to December, how much total DFL submit did you have?
I think it was like 92, 95,000.
In 5 or 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Yes. Mike's going crazy. Mike's going crazy.
Yeah.
I might hear,
Thank you,
we might
Mr.
hear
Roseman.
1 trillion. We haven't heard of 1 trillion in a while, Mike. So at that time, Aaron, how you started to really get involved. I started seeing you come on the advanced market calls. Can you talk about that experience through your lens?
Yeah, I think so one of the things, there's so many different ways you can do this business, and we have so many great leaders to tell you ways to do the business, and it's just finding your voice. And I think I hadn't really found my voice, found things that were working, but I hadn't found my voice. And so I started seeing how much more comfortable and confident Derek was getting. Like it was like night and day. And I think I can say this in front of the whole nation of Symmetry, that Derek by nature isn't comfortable talking to people. Like, I am very comfortable talking to people. Derek is not. And so to see him, like, really his confidence just shifted, and I was like, oh, okay, let me see, again, canary in the coal mine, let me see what's going on here. And so I started joining it, and I was like, oh, this is the missing piece. This is that piece that we were missing. It's kind of like when you are in a situation with a client, like, who, I don't know, maybe they've got a lot of health issues, and before, the only thing you could think of was like, okay, I can do guaranteed issue for them and maybe stack some policies. And you have to have that hard conversation with that client to say, like, listen, I'm really sorry, which I mean, that's already a horrible posture. I'm really sorry, but all we can get you is these guaranteed issue policies. Now it's the ability to kind of never go into appointment being worried about that, because now it's like, hey, I know your health issues are concerned, and we can get your final expense taken care of, but you mentioned you want to make sure your grandkids could go to college. You know what I mean? And just, even though I hadn't learned it yet, just knowing I could go to that avenue and be able to solve that problem still, like, it was a game changer for me, where I just suddenly felt like an advisor, and more like I wasn't stuck. So it just, that was the part that clicked for me. And then I was all in. And then I was like, I want every call that Jeff and his team are doing. So yeah.
And you probably heard Mike say there's no such thing as a no sale at the
I
conference.
actually have that on my list to talk about it. Like, I was gonna say, and I feel like I want to call him Resi, because that's what, I don't know you yet, Mike, but I want to be like Resi says.
That's what I affectionately call him.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah. We feel like we know you now, but
We're like that, Mike. We're like that.
yeah. But there's no such thing as a no sale. Then you're always solving a problem. And if the biggest thing are, and I know I'm probably getting ahead to the recruiting, but if the biggest thing are the people coming to us are worried about is not being able to have an answer, they don't have to worry about that when there's always someone they can go to. That was big for me.
So I want to unpack something. So you said something about Derek. I'm going to jump back to you for a second. You said that Derek was getting just very confident.
Yes.
So Derek, let's unpack that. Let's pull that apart and see exactly what was giving you that confidence. What pushed you over to that next level to write $100,000 of business, no matter what solution set it's in. That's impressive in a 5-6 week period.
Well, let's qualify this. All right. I am an introvert by nature. At the same time, I'm also a public speaker. So I feel a duty to reach out and share with others. I feel a responsibility. And so that's what gets me up on stage. That's what gets me in front of this group here. That's what gets me in front of my clients. But really, I mean, there's a number of ways that are all legitimate ways of helping our clients here. And there are a number of different scripts. All right. Some scripts are better off for some people. Some other scripts are better off for other people. And for me, I didn't feel that hum, that resonant full body hum of something appealing to me until I got out of what I felt was like a sales mode and into an advisory mode. And so, I feel like, and not to be too graphic here, but when we're dealing with clients who can literally, sift through social media and fire off, 5 requests for information during a bathroom break, and we had people coming on saying, all right, well, just give me a quote. Just give me a quote. Tell me how much is this? I'll be like, oh man, I'm not a quote machine, and I felt used after those calls. And when I got out of having to justify that I wasn't a quote machine and just changed my posture into, well, listen, that's, maybe you're looking for a sales guy. I'm not a sales guy. Here's what I can do for you. I can help tailor a solution for you based upon your need. If you're interested in that, I'm happy to help you. Mm-hmm. And with that
posture, boom. That's what it was. That's what I saw.
With that, using the FIF, all right, to at first it was me. I mean, listen, you give me a recipe for food, I'm there like every step of the way. All right, yes, now I have to add 2 cups of milk, and now I have to add a quarter cup of this. Aaron is just like, throw it all in there, I'll make it work. I followed the script and I had the FIF on screen. And immediately that helped me. But over time, it's become much more conversational, and it's become less about an interrogation of a client. And now it's about having that conversation. And all of that led to just a level of confidence, a posture. It addresses concerns before they arise with the client. You know, I'm able to use NAPQ to turn the questions back around to the client. I'm not constantly defending myself. I'm putting the spotlight on them. I'm asking them what their issues are. I'm finding their pain points. I've become a professional question asker from Mr. Jeff Sigworth. And really all of that, and I'll do this in a second, I just shut up and I let people talk. And then I prescribe from any number of products that I feel are the best solution that meet their need. I'm not walking into a client presentation going, all right, I got 3 products in my back pocket, and I'm going to give them this. No, it's okay. Shoot. What you answered an ad, Jeff. Tell me what's going on. How can I help?
Mm-hmm.
So we've got, the adoption of advanced markets. We've got you guys adopting resets. Now, taking this a step further, because this is the builder's call, how are you guys using this to recruit? How are you using the FIF to really help build your agency and facilitate growth specifically within your organization?
So, I mean, I'm really excited to share some of this actually, because I mean, I talked briefly about one of the biggest things that we hear when agents come in is people get so worried about what they don't know, and they get hung up on what they have to train for. And they are so worried, well, I don't know this, I don't know that. This is a company supported program where it's okay if you don't know it. You can just learn to ask questions, listen for keywords. And now you're never in a corner where you're like, oh, I don't know how to do that yet, or I can't get somebody on the phone. You have a program now and we tell this in our interviews. We have a program where you ask the questions, you learn a couple keywords, and now you just reset it. If it's not something you can help them with, you can reset it to someone else. You still do your general life business first, pay yourself first, but now you're not just being able to say, oh, that's not my expertise, I don't know that, or let me see if I can get somebody on the phone right now. You just schedule it, and then you can join that, earn as you learn, and then make more commission. That takes all of that pressure off of that new agent who's new and never has done this before, from feeling like they have to learn all the training. No, just focus on making appointments. That's all you have to focus on. And when that question comes up, now you know where to go. That's for that agent. For the agent who's experienced, I'm going to use an example of someone who joined our team recently. He's got like over 20 some years of experience as a financial advisor. And we had like a really powerful conversation with him after he decided to join the team, where he basically told us that the reason why he decided to join our team over all these other places that were offering him like really like pretty lucrative financial offers, he joined our team because he's gone through some life stuff. And at this point in his career, he wants to give back. He wants to be able to teach other agents. He wants to be able to use his experience to teach other agents and be able to have that supported right from the start. And so he's going through he's coming to the boot camp. He's doing all of these things so he can become a resetting agent and be able to use his expertise to help other people. And he has more experience than I probably will ever have, but that's why he wanted to join, because we're already supporting that ability for him to give back. And I think that's really powerful when we're looking at how do you recruit that level of people, right? Like that was a big one. So that's a couple of the ways. Do you want to unpack that before I continue?
Yeah, I think Derek, so how do you see it from your perspective on how the FIF is really helping recruiting in your organization, helping it grow? I know you've got some people on my calls that are showing up, that are showing growth. So what are you guys saying? What are you doing a little bit differently? How are you teaching it? How does that experience look for you?
Well, we're constantly reinforcing the FIF. When we have those newer agents, and okay, we all know those agents who come in and maybe struggle right out of the gate. I mean, there's plenty that come in and hit the ground running, and they're helping families, they're making good income, and they're bought in. But then every now and again, there's the people who struggle, and it takes them a little bit longer. And when they're trying to determine, can I do this, or maybe I don't have the ability to do this, making an income for them is huge to keep them engaged and give them the hope to push a little further, to be able to afford to push a little further in this business. So when we can do that for them, and when they go into a call and they realize, oh, okay, this prospect has said a couple key phrases that are now ringing bells in the back of my brain. I'm going to do my best to write this business, this life business, or this mortgage protection business. But now I know at the end of the call, I'm going to go back to that and say, hey, Jeff, I noticed you said you've got a lot of debt that you're trying to pay off. And maybe you couldn't afford as much life insurance as you wanted because you got all these other bills. Would it be of help to you if we could just get rid of all that without paying any additional money every month? Would that be something you'd be interested in?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
And so then they reset it to the subject matter expert, and they get that 40% cut if the subject matter expert writes that business. In general, the APVs on advanced market products are a little bit higher than what you're going to see in the simplified issue area in general, average, and or at least they do for my agents. Plug for myself. Mine tend to be higher. But yeah, if we can give them 40% of 10,000 or 0% of 1,100 and keep them on board, yeah, heck yeah.
It's like extra leads almost. Like instead of looking at one or two applications, now you're talking about, I mean, we did that activity at Ruth and Scott's boot camp that you guys did. And that was so cool because then you're talking about in one family, now you're talking about like, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 possible applications. And that's like, talk about ROI.
There's other people that we know. Yeah, every now and again, you have that friend who you know has a great network, they have a great gig, or maybe it's not a great gig. They're always complaining to you that they want to leave, right? They're fed up with their job, and you want to help them, and you've gone to them 3 or 4 times already and said, hey, you know what? Not for nothing, but you're more than welcome to join us. And they're like, yeah, I don't know. I get a great salary. I hate my job. I got a great salary. My wife would kill me, and my husband would kill me if I just left and didn't have any idea of what I was walking into financially for my family. And I go, okay, so what if we helped you get your license? All right. And then you use that great network of yours to reset business to a subject matter expert who can give you 40% commission. And you can build that cushion for yourself to land in, show to your spouse, that there's true, legitimate pathways to providing for their family. And then they go, yeah, you know what? I can get behind that. I'll come work with you. And we've been getting people left and right that way. People who have never left their high paying jobs to come in and work with us because they've been able to get their license in the part-time. They reset to me or whomever, and we get them that 40% commission, and they see that growth.
It's also stickier. We didn't even talk about the stickier business part.
That's
right.
Business is stickier, a little more value. But hold that thought. Is there a persona or an agent type that you see that might be not predetermined, but maybe that you're earmarking for advanced markets and that opportunity? Is there a type of agent or something that you guys are seeing when you're recruiting?
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, we make sure we set an expectation of kind of who we are. I mean, first of all, none of us, like one of our agents said this on a call once, none of us are as smart as all of us. So we want to make sure like we're giving people paths based on what they want. Like I think Brad Gainey said it on a call recently that we can't expect that our agents are all having the same goals we do. So we have to make sure we listen to what they want and be able to provide that path. But when it comes to like the people who are going to really resonate with our style, it's very much that advisor role that it's just I'm not sure exactly how to explain, but that's what it is. It's just that almost like you've said it before, it's almost like a doctor kind of this. So yeah, it's definitely that person who's looking to kind of dig in more, learn more, that kind of who doesn't want it to be sales, basically wants it to be more of that advisor role.
Okay.
For sure.
Great. Aaron, you had a list. Did we get everything on your list? We've got 3 minutes. So what else on your list did you want to talk about?
The stickier business we wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
I think, yeah. Like when you're able to, so it's one thing to be able to really help a family and get coverage for them. That's why we're all here. But we all know chargebacks can happen. You can't really avoid them, but let me take that back. Sometimes you can't avoid them, but there are ways to get ahead of them when you're asking the right questions to find out, first of all, if they can even afford the business that you're that application. If you're not asking questions, how do you know if that's like, what if they have like $20 left after they're at the end of the month and you're like, here's a $200 bill. Like you want to make sure you're helping them. So beyond that, when you're helping them get out of debt and you're writing life business, that likelihood of a chargeback, it's a stickier business because now you've provided an asset, right? Derek, you say that all the time. I've provided an asset and not a liability.
Not a liability. That's a resi.
Yeah.
A resi statement there.
We steal things from him.
And that's very important aspect from a new agent, because a chargeback, an ill-timed chargeback, can really hit you right between the eyes. So having stickier business, showing more value, can be really important. Any last comments, questions from you guys, statements?
No, just you've said it a lot, Jeff. You got 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. Listen more, prescribe the appropriate solution, and in doing so, you're in letting people talk more. They're gonna warm up more to you because they're not there to hear a lecture. All right, if you can provide them a solution that helps them, helps their family, you're going to develop that relationship faster with them, and then ultimately, when they do get the next bathroom break and they're flipping through social media and they see that there's a product out there that's similar, that's $3 cheaper, they're going to go, yeah, but they don't have my guy, they don't have my girl. All right. And then I'm going to reach out to my guy and my girl. And then, the next time I talk to my friends and they have a similar issue, I'm going to go, yeah, I got somebody for you to talk to.
Love it. Aaron, Derek, thanks a lot, guys. Good to see you again.
Thank you. Thanks for all you do.
Ryan. Back to you guys.
Man, fired up. So excited to get to hear you guys' story. And like I told them before, Jeff's been really excited to get that out there. We've known about this dynamic duo for quite some time. Everything that they've said they would come here to do, they've shown up and done so far. They've been great partners. They've been very patient with us as we work through some early lead struggles that we're still resolving for you guys. We haven't forgot you, I promise. But thank you for the way you lead. Thank you for the way you show up. And Jeff, thank you. I mean, this resets business, guys. Casey, Rasma, y'all are in those rocks meetings. The system is going to support, and we're going to get resets running throughout this entire organization because it's the right thing to do for the clients. And it's an incredible tool to make massive passive income and generate really quality business that is very sticky. And this is going to be a win for everybody. Anything, Mike?
No, it's just one of the most important initiatives that we have as an organization. I mean, the work that Jeff Sigworth and Melissa Wellman and the team have done, when you talk about sticky business, the reversal rate on the advanced market solutions is much lower than the term business, the FE business, and just the value prop and offering these additional solutions so that we're not a one-trick pony. And it's just so valuable because our country needs it. And we'll talk about it a little bit later on the national call. but the value that this provides, and we have all of the solutions needed to help out every family. It's just about getting uncomfortable, learning something new, and then, you know, when you're uncomfortable, that's where the growth happens. So just like Derek spent, you know, a month and a half focusing on training and understanding, and now look at the results that he's had, it's because he took the time to learn it. So the great thing is a brand new person doesn't need to learn it. All they need to learn is to ask 1 or 2 questions, pass it off to a specialist, and let them do all the work for you.
Well done, Derek.
Well
Derek,
done.
Siggy. Good work, guys.
Thank
You made a good comment too about what does an advanced market specialist look like?
Yeah.
That guy right there.
That's right. That's exactly what
That's a good one.
If he looks like come November, December that he's available to also pretend to be Santa Claus, he might be your guy.
I like that.
Love you, buddy.
He's a double. He's a double agent for sure. He can do many things.
Oh, he can build, he can do advanced markets. He's brilliant, man.
Yeah, he can be Santa. It's good.
Let's go, Scott Forehand.
All right, Spivey, let's go, man. We got
I'm fired up.
to hit today. We got double whammy leaderboards, promotions, all kinds of fun stuff.
Me too. Before we get into any of that, man, we're gonna kick it right off from the jump. I think Whit Zay. How you doing out there, buddy?
Good. How are you?
We are doing fantastic. Can't be better now that you're here.
You're so kind, Todd. Always so kind.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Isn't he the best at introducing people?
he really is. He'll
Oh,
build you
yeah.
up, make you feel like
Now
$1
you're
million
making me
bucks before you
blush.
get started.
Y'all are making me blush. But we had a huge, massive impact, I think, in this world, and so grateful for you and leading that charge as always. Just want to have you on and hear a little bit more about Protect the Path and the good that we did in this world because everybody that participated.
Yeah. Do we have a slide? We should have a slide.
Let's see here.
We do.
I'm coming.
There we go. I see it in there.
Yeah.
There it is. All right. So we had an awesome week last week for Protect the Path. We still have one city got rained out. Salt Lake City is having